Hello, everybody. I hope you are all having an awesome day today. This is Grace, by the way. Grace on a Journey with Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to all my fellow travelers. Thanks for coming back. I think today is going to be a productive, motivating, and inspiring time that we spend together. Because honestly, even before beginning this episode, just preparing for it, meditating for it, channeling for it, I've already felt energized and promising and enlightened. And I really hope that those of you that come with sincere hearts are in the mindset of receiving what you need, right? What you need. Not what you want, but what you need. And leaving the rest. So, the title is Assurance is Better Than Insurance. All right? Now, in your lifetime, I am positive the word insurance has been a lot more available regarding to information than insurance. Insurance is popular because a certain population benefits from it. Your hardship, your loss is their benefit. And so you want to bet they're looking out for themselves? In order for you to overcome the oppressions of those that benefit from your downfall, the greedy, the wicked, the tricksters, you have to live in a manner that is in alignment with assurance. All right? When you are in alignment with assurance, you are assured, number one, you're on the winning team, okay? Because your spiritual support team comes with no fault, okay? Because they've been with you from day one. They see things you don't see. They know things you don't know. And most importantly, they want what's best for you. What's best for you should be in alignment with the highest good for all. That's the message I just received. What's best for you should be in alignment with the highest good for all. And sometimes that means allowing our neighbors, our families, our peers to experience life, to learn from life's lessons, and to be motivated to make better choices next time around. See, sometimes if there is no mark of correction, and no mark of disapproval, there is no sense of direction. Discipline is non-negotiable when you're trying to experience a better side to life. There are steps you need to take. There are things you need to surrender. There are moments of meditation, moments of accepting my focus, your focus is a requirement, is something that you can't turn off and turn on. It has to stay on. You have to stay connected, right? You can't jump from this lane to that lane. You have to be sold out. Because as you commit yourself, you strengthen in knowledge, in power, and in execution. You're being told that assurance requires your final decision. What plan do you want today? Fill in the blanks. Yes, I want assurance. Or yes, I want insurance. As for me, my assurance assures me that God will handle the rest, whatever may come my way and those on my team's way. Because you'll hear me employ spiritual support team. But I'm hoping, for your sake, that you've made connections with loved ones that are in your familial support teams. And it doesn't require blood. It requires the same vision, the same dedication, and the same direction in calling. You're being asked to let God love you the way you deserve to be loved. You see, a lot of you think you know what love is because you've watched a movie, because you've heard your friends share about their relationships, because you've read a book by one of your favorite authors. But even after all that was just listed, when you exit the matrix, you realize, I never knew what love was. Let that sink in. I'm asking you to let that sink in because some of you still don't know what love is. This is why you freely use the term with everyone and anyone. This is why you haven't differentiated the fact that love doesn't hurt. This is why you're searching for love instead of giving love and attracting love. When you have love, get ready for this. Because I'm sure you've heard it's all connected, right? When you have love, you have assurance. I'm going to say that 3 times. When you have love, you have assurance. One more time. When you have love, you have assurance. And this is why there are seasons where God allows blockages to occur, even by the works of the enemy. Sometimes he utilizes those seasons to wake you up. But loving as he is, he never closes his eyes. He never leaves you out of his sight. And he's carrying you without your knowledge. If it wasn't for God, some of you would have never made my acquaintance. And there are those of you I would have never made your acquaintance. It's only because God always was, is, and forever will be. And this is why we need to honor him. By living our lives in alignment with prayer. Your life should be your prayer. Now, those of you that question or come back with sarcasm, prayer is not always bless me, bless the world, give me, give the world. Sometimes prayer is guide me, correct me, be gentle about it. Don't forget that part. Walk with me. Help me to learn this lesson so I don't have to repeat this pattern over and over and over. I'm tired of saying over again. God, this relationship is not good for me. Get me out. God, this substance is ruining my life. I need to get out of this addiction. Make a way, make a way, make a way, make a way, make a way. I'm kneeling down before you. Make a way. Guide my steps. Prayer is life. When you neglect prayer, you're neglecting life. Prayer for assurance is living your life with assurance. Now, I'd like to incorporate the spread I have before me with the channelings, confirmation with the channelings we have for today. The first is gratitude. Gratitude. See, when you walk in assurance due to the connections and the dedication and the commitment to the Most High, to those that are included in your spiritual support teams, gratitude must always be part of the picture. Even those times when you feel, oh gosh, that was a hard time. I barely made it. I didn't even deserve all of that. Why? Why me? even in those times. With perspective, you are awakened to, I learned that lesson. I never have to go through that again. That's the end of that cycle. I move forward. I know how to teach others to not experience that anymore. This is a generational curse that is now broken. Gratitude. You need to have gratitude not only to God, but gratitude to those that left some type of imprint, that were teachers or inspirational. Guides. Some of you look at these people or recognize them as your elders. Some of you recognize them as your aunts, your uncles, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. Have gratitude even in their transitions. I said even in their transitions. I'm going to say it one more time. Even in their transitions, say their names. Whether you say it to your children or to your friends or to yourself, honor them by saying their names. Honor them by sharing what lessons you've learned, whether you want to write about it or if you want to share about it. But review those life lessons that assisted you in your development and has brought you to this elevation in your journey. It is important to live in gratitude, because as you live in gratitude, you recall these lessons, whether they came in a loving way, whether they came in a harsh way, whether your understanding of it was just by chance. Recall those lessons. Again, write them down, share them, and say their names. We're all connected. As you say their names, you raise the collective's vibration. Raising the collective's vibration benefits us all. Move in a manner that is the highest good for all. Move in truth. Sometimes they've shared these lessons with you, not orally, but just by being transparent, just by living their lives out loud, just by saying, well, if I knew this, before this, then I would have done it this way. Sometimes people learn lessons in a hard way. Not because you weren't loved by God. Not because I'm trying to find the politically correct way to say this. Not just because of ignorance, but because of the choice you made. I'm sure you've recalled many times before when I say life is about choices. And so sometimes we choose to learn the hard way. We choose to be hands-on learners. We choose to know for ourselves. That doesn't make you less than. Learn to live your lives in a manner where you see through the eyes of love, not through the eyes of judgment. That's something that I posted, in different areas of my home. Because when you learn to live and see things through the eyes of love and not through the eyes of judgment, it not only benefits those that you encounter, it benefits yourself. You'll begin to realize you begin to regress in judging yourselves. Some of us have spent all of our lives beating ourselves up about, oh, you should have done this, you should have, just shitting on yourselves, right? But when you learn to see the world through the eyes of love, not through the eyes of judgment, it lightens the load. It fills the void when it comes to understanding why some people behave the way they do. Oh, yeah. He backstabbed me because it was a lesson he had to learn. She stole from me because it was a lesson she had to learn. They tried to kill me because it was a lesson they had to learn. That's not judgment. That's truth. God is truth. God is love. It's all connected. In the same token, they tried to kill me. They poisoned me. They defamed my character. God is wisdom. God is not going to tell you to build your tent next to the enemy. In fact, He guides us to be with those that are equally yoked. So even in your separation, you separate in love. And this is why you don't need to have quote unquote closure, quote unquote back and forth. That's a lie from the pit of darkness. Because if you've decided no more, if you've decided that you are going to let God love you the way you deserve to be loved. You are going to detach yourself from all energies that keep you in the proximity to toxicity. It goes hand in hand. Do you choose God or do you people please? God says love. I've never came across any fortifying information that stated that God says love others but not yourself. That also is a lie from the pit of darkness. In order for you to be in alignment with let God love you the way you deserve to be loved, you must love yourself. The next card is door to value. You see, when you love yourself, your self-worth increases, and those that you encounter begin to see you through the eyes of love, right? They begin to recognize, whether they're willing to admit it or not, they begin to recognize the value in you. Now, when I say they begin to see you in the eyes of love, that does not mean they're going to show love. And that does not mean that their love is not toxic. You can, quote unquote, I say quote unquote because I don't even determine that as love. But in their mindset, it's love, right? It's love to block you so you can't leave me. It's love to lie on you so nobody will want you and you'll have to stay with me. It's love when I continuously invade your privacy because I need to be in control over those that I love. You see, that's quote unquote loving in toxicity. That is not being in the energy that is in alignment with let God love you the way you deserve to be loved. When you let God love you the way you deserve to be loved, you don't accept nonsense, invasion of privacy, accepting continuous harm, accepting disrespect, accepting emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, ritualistic abuse. That is not in alignment with let God love you the way you deserve to be loved. And if you are not in alignment with let God love you the way you deserve to be loved, you are not living in terms of assurance, right? You're living in terms of insurance. What does that mean? That's referring to those of you that have settled with the illusion of security. Yes, he doesn't love me the way I deserve to be loved, but he pays my bills, and he supports me, and he keeps a roof over my head, and he is available when I'm trying to say this with tact. He's available when I crave intimacy, regardless if he's cheating, regardless if that's all we have, regardless if he's putting me at risk. You see, that's those of you that will sell your souls for insurance, right? But the truth of the matter is, sometimes those insurance policies have loopholes. Sometimes you don't understand all the jargon. Sometimes, can I say all the time? All the time, they will be getting the better hand of the deal. Understand the applications, the forms. The contract was designed by legal professionals who were and who are looking out for their best interests. So there are times you are expecting insurance, and due to the loopholes, you receive no insurance. See, we're in a season where a lot of people thought they had insurance and they received no insurance. Because there is a spirit of life. There is a raising in the vibration. There is a bell, and freedom is ringing. And that came from the efforts, from the commitments, from the disciplines of those who align themselves with Team Assurance. Assurance that you can't blindfold me anymore. Assurance that I have to have my legal spiritual support team view this contract thoroughly before I say yes, before I move forward, before I even invest my time. It's season assurance. Those who live their lives as a prayer of assurance set the example for those that were left behind with insurance in the matrix. It's time for you to get real with you. Because it's time for you to get real with yourself. Are you leading the way? Or do you need to catch up? Next card is clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. I've made reference to this in the last episode that yes is yes and procrastination is no. I'm going to say it again. For those of you that have been playing yourselves, yes is yes and procrastination is no. This is not a time for you to say, well, one day I'll catch up to wisdom. One day I'll treat people the way I want to be treated. One day I'll have time for God. One day I'll make wrongs with my right. One day. It's not time for one day. This is the season of taking the next right step. And you don't have one day to take a step. Your decision is so mandated that it needs to be in a company with action. You can't just say, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. No, I'm going to do this and this is how I'm going to start, and I'm starting. A decision needs to be made. A step needs to be taken. And your lens needs to be focused so you can see the way ahead and stay on path. Why is it so important for you to let God love you the way you want to be loved? You see, in the process of letting God love you the way you deserve to be loved, you learn from the time that is shared. You learn from the bonding that is experienced. You learn from the partnership, the assured partnership. That is made. The bond teaches you, oh, this is how I need to be loved. Unconditionally. This is how others show love to me. This is how I can show love to others. This is how others make time for me. This is how I should make time for others. God needs to take you to school. And in fact, this is why you're here. You're here because life is a school. Some of us are teachers and some of us are students. And then there are other times where some of us are students and some of us are teachers. You need to spend enough time with yourself and experience enough bonding with yourself, going inside, learning who you are, seeing your shadow side, appreciating everything that you are, accepting I am a fruit of the universe, therefore I am balanced. Balance is key. The highest good for all is always the priority. And that comes with the vibration of balance. There are times you need to show up in your masculine. There are times you need to show up in your feminine. And for those of you that this escaped you or this went over your head, there are times you need to stand up for yourself, to defend yourself, to set your boundaries. And then there are times to be loving, to be sweet, to be passionate, to be understanding, to be caring, and so forth. You need balance. Strength comes with balance. Courage comes with balance. Assurance comes with balance. Love. Let me say that 2 more times. Love. Love comes with balance. When you love, you don't just love the other party. You love yourself. And you love the other party. You love yourself. You love the other party. You love your children. You love yourself. You love the other party. You love your children. You love your extended families. You love yourself. You love the other party. You love your children. You love your extended families. You love the human race. Balance continues. Be in the frame of mind of assurance because it benefits you more than insurance. You see, when you live in assurance, you don't have to fall in your face to experience the benefits. You feel me? You experience it with every breath you take. It's a lifestyle, right? Insurance comes after something falls down. Correct? or something dies, correct? You ever heard of full recovery? So what you want to bank on today? Insurance or assurance? See, God's a miracle worker. Life is a school. Have you decided to learn the hard way? Or the easy way? I've heard many times before, it's better to learn from others' experiences than your mistakes. The choice is yours. Next card says, check your boundaries. And affirm your right to express and receive both kindness and respect. Embrace your softer side, okay? That's your feminine side. And your ability to stand up for yourself. That's your masculine side. You are a unique being, and you do not need to conform to stereotypes. As you relax into your authentic self, the best method to accomplish what is needed shall spontaneously arise from within. Next card is your spiritual destiny involves a relationship with God. You have important spiritual tasks. You are afforded power, protection, and abundance. You are deepening your connection to God. You know why? Because you're aligned to let God love you the way you deserve to be loved. It's not about a destination that you're going to arrive to. It's about the journey. There will be ups, downs, twists, turns. Life. But in the process, when you remain focused, you're connected to the knowledge and power you need to regenerate. Exactly at the times you need. This is why it is important for you to be balanced. Make time for yourself. Make time for your lover. Make time for your children. Make time for your friends. Make time for your families. Make time for everything included. What you don't have time for is anything that is toxic. And that's why the next card is disperse. Anything that's taking you away from God's love. Anything that's taking you away from letting yourself be loved by God the way you deserve to be loved needs to be knocked off the table. Right? Unapologetically. No remorse. No glance backs. Let go and let God. Focus is key. Assurance is better than insurance. Confirmation. Next card is the root chakra is our connection to earth. Safety, security, survival. Factors such as finances can create generational blockages within the root chakra. And that can manifest as an overemphasis on the material world. Okay, your focus needs to be more on grounding. So, this may have a connection to emotional energy. You see, codependency is many people's downfalls. You feel you need a people please. You feel, what will the people say? I don't want to feel guilty. I don't want to feel like an outcast. I don't want to feel that people don't like me. Let me help you recollect that. In order for you to be aligned with assurance, you need to be aligned to the fulfillment of God's love. Letting God love you the way you deserve to be loved. When you let God love you the way you deserve to be loved, you follow His guidance. You accept His grace. You live in His goodness. And so that sometimes means walking away from energies that keep you enslaved. And this is why you have to accept that you're programmed, and you have to deprogram and then reprogram yourself to God's love. Not to the oppressor's manual. Not to do what I say, but not what I do. Not to just follow the leader, not knowing why. Simon says jump, but has he ever said why? Are you going to play Simon Says for the rest of your days? Are you going to understand this is a new day? The choice is always yours. Now, even after welcoming, accepting, inviting, appreciating this brand new union you've made with God, it's important that you continue to accept love. Love from those that love you in truth. And this is not only romantic love I'm speaking of. I'm speaking of you. Love yourself in truth. As you love yourself in truth, you love on your ancestors. You see, your ancestors live in you. And this is how they are there for you. Right? So my understanding is if I love, I don't let those I love down, right? If I love, I look out for the best interests for those that I love. If I love, I want those I love to be in a healthy state of mind, right? That would include detaching myself from energies that lower my vibration, right? What do you think your ancestors feel about you remaining in a dysfunctional relationship? Whether it is someone that's beating on you just because, whether it is someone that's draining you financially, whether it is someone that settled with you because you were the second best, whatever the choice, if your ancestors, I'm just going to have to let it all out there and hope you wake up. If your ancestors disapprove of the toxicity you have in your life, you will begin to experience downfalls. Reason being, they're not going to encourage you in your mess. And we're referring to the high vibrational ancestors, the ones that help you win, the ones that help you gain. Right? Don't expect for favors or guidance or insight or wisdom from low vibration, because that is a lie from where? Darkness. Align yourself with light so you can see what's faulty, so you can remove the debris, so you could learn how to be in assurance. The next card is suggesting that this is a season of growth. And this encourages me. This puts me in the mindset that being a pioneer in a movement for change, conscious change, unapologetic change, free-spirited change is not in vain. Because growth is all around me and all around us. It just takes a moment to smell the flowers and notice the beauty surrounding us. Being told to tell you that taking the next right step will assist you in areas of fertility. Those of you that want to give birth biologically, or those of you that want to give birth materialistically, professionally, spiritually. Fertility is available, but you arrive to it with discipline. It's also telling me that some of us are late bloomers. But some late bloomers are late bloomers because they believed they deserve better than what was settled for. And so even in their late blooming, they received the best. This reminds us that life is not a competition. Neither it is a race. It is about growth, retention, then transformation. Are you retaining those lessons learned in order for you not to remain in the cycles of yesterday? Or will you be repeating the cycles for the remainder of your days? Life is about choices. Next card is dreams. Lots of options, choices, multiple possibilities, opportunities, and so forth. Choices. What's coming to me as well is when you are at a more experienced stage, because you've learned the lessons, You've accepted them as they are. You came face to face with your shadow side. You understand that balance is the fruit of the universe. You understand that you're complete and whole. You are then prepared to achieve your dreams for long term, not just temporary. But the foundation is so careful in architecture because you don't want to repeat those lessons that you left behind. And so the final product is upstanding. Is long term. Leaves legacies. So those of you that don't understand your point of arrivals yet, how come I'm still in this season? How come? Understand you're building your foundations. Understand how much God loves you. Understand you are in the season of allowing yourself to be loved by God the way you deserve to be loved. Be reassured. You're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Life is a school. Remember? Balance. Balance is the next card. Balance, as I always say, is the fruit of the universe. Right? There is good and bad, and both are required. There is sweet and harsh, sweet and sour, and both are required. When you are complete, when you are whole, when you are balanced, you have matured to a season when you have sense of direction as to when you show up as sweet and when to show up as bitter. Bitter, sweet, sour, whatever your flavor. But due to life's ups and downs, due to moments when you should be inviting because it's a benefit to be inviting, or you should set a boundary because it will put you in harm's way if you do not. You learn to put it into application by deciding for yourself and weighing what's best for you. how this benefits you, how this is showing love to you, because you want to live in a state of assurance, and the state of assurance must be in alignment with loving yourself too. In order to reap the benefits of being loved by God, we have to be in that program of being loved by God. Being in that program, participating in those classes, learning those lessons, and so forth. Have you signed up for your classes? Have you registered? Is it on your to-do list? /no? Life is about choices. And you have free will. Be assured you have free will. The next card is high vibrational manifestations. You see, a lot of you have been programmed to believe manifesting is ungodly, that life should just come as what may. And that's why you find yourself staying in your conditions, generation after generation after generation, remaining cursed, because you refuse to apply yourself in taking control of what you can control and leaving the rest because God takes care of the rest. But there are areas where you have to put yourself into application. You have to do your vision boards. You have to set your boundaries. You have to say your confirmation on the boundaries. The boundaries of refusing. Have I stressed it? To allow energies that may endanger you in any way, at any capacity, when it comes to your movement forward. You see, the first time you slip up, you lost the battle. I can give you an example. There was a season in my life I decided to abstain from sugar. And when the idea was brought to my attention, I laughed. I was like, that is so unrealistic. Really? Me? That's never going to happen, right? And a peer of mine said, I'm not disagreeing with you as far as that's not going to happen. I'm challenging you to just do it one moment at a time. And that seemed easy enough. Just one moment at a time. So I might have a craving of this food or that food or this drink, and I could say no. Not at this time. And I did it for a day. Then a week. Then a couple of months. Then a couple of years. Until I met a friend. Who reconditioned me into believing that I can just trying to recall the right word.